myself, Dr. K, with another series focusing on stress hacks in continuation with our previous video, which was on 4 techniques to efficiently handle stress in our day-to-day lives. Now, in this video, we will discuss regarding 2 happy hormones, mainly focusing on happy hormones, which are responsible for imbibing happiness in our day-to-day lives and keeping ourselves calm and composed and contented. You know, out of the quartet of chemicals responsible for our happiness, the 2 such essential chemicals are or hormones are dopamine and serotonin. The other 2 hormones are oxytocin and endorphins. Now, many situations can trigger these neurotransmitters, but instead of just having them, consistently and naturally being produced in our system, there are certain hacks and techniques which can help us intentionally cause them to flow. Now, before we get on to what are dopamine and serotonin and how they play a vital role in our day-to-day lives and our mood enhancement, I would like to say that being in a positive state has a significant impact on our motivation, productivity, and well-being. I mean, so let's get on to what are those hacks, which can help us do so, and how do we achieve them in our day-to-day lives. Now, one more thing is that neurotransmitters. We need to understand what are neurotransmitters. They are actually chemical messengers which carry electrical signals between the neurons in our brain. And dopamine and serotonin are 2 such very important neurotransmitters, which are essential for our healthy mental state. They affect our moods, memory, sleep, libido, appetite, and much more. Imbalances of these neurotransmitters can contribute to addictions, various addictions like alcohol, cigarettes, resorting to to avoid depression, loneliness, and feeling relaxed, getting out of that tensive mood. We would require such things, mood conditions, memory issues, and attention difficulties. Now, what is dopamine? How do we first we need to understand what is dopamine and how do we essentially produce it other than it naturally being produced, or how can we help enhanced or intentional cause in the flow of dopamine in our system. First, dopamine is responsible for motivating us to take action towards our goals and give us a feeling of reinforcing pleasure, the happiness which we feel when we achieve them. Even if it's the smallest activity, we need to practice to be happy in our smallest achievements. What and how do we identify whether we are low on dopamine? Is procrastination, self-doubt. I mean, we're doubting our own potential, our own aptitude, our own efficiency, and lack of enthusiasm, not enjoying what we are doing. Everything seems very gloomy and sad, and there's no boost, there's no push. There's no vigor in what we experience and what we achieve. We feel very dull and dead. So what is the solution? How do we actually enhance those dopamines in our system? Is first what we need to understand is we break down our bigger goals. I mean, we should stop aiming for very high goals, or start thinking that only if I achieve them, this goal is when I would be really happy. Rather, we break them into smaller pieces, and then allowing and telling our brain to celebrate in those smaller achievements rather than just waiting for a bigger celebration for that ultimate achievement. That's how you create dopamine. So which means we are reducing our finish line. We have a finish line of our mission. It should not be far-fetched. So that's one. And creating a series of little finish lines for frequent dopamine release. That's how we frequently release our dopamine, by getting consistently happy over smaller achievements. So that's why we always be in a happy mood, and we will be more focused, and 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 then celebrate our smallest successes, as I said, and create new goals before the older one is finished. That's how you keep yourself busy or keep your mind occupied, and that ensures a consistent pattern for experiencing dopamine. That's what we should always do. Try to create newer goals before we finish the older one, so we know that we have something to look forward to more than anything else. And as an employer and a leader, consistently recognize the accomplishment of our downline. If we are a corporate, we work in a highly tensive environment where we have too many employees we handle. Maybe more of team managers, vice presidents, or supervisors, team leaders who are handling teams, who are live on the floor, handling bigger numbers, consistently. And even for the top heads, who are like, maybe I'm talking about vice president HR, or a director HR, or whosoever who's the front line, talking to the employees. I would suggest that recognize the accomplishment of your team. So what if the accomplishment is small? Don't just appreciate their achievement when they have done a big task. Send your team an encouraging email, or give them a small bonus. It's a big dopamine hit, and that will actually, you will observe, that will enhance the productivity as well as efficiency of your employee. You will get to extract more work out of them more efficiently, and so that's all about dopamine. Is also, it's a motivator. It's more of a motivator. Now we come to serotonin. What is serotonin? Serotonin flows when you feel significant or important. It's a mood elevator. It's something to deal with your mood. What are the side effects? How do you know that you're low on serotonin? Is you feel depressed, you feel low, you feel sad, lonely, and that's how you come to know that there's something wrong. Serotonin is absent. I mean, it's so that's an indicator. So that's the whole reason why people choose wronger alternatives, going for erroneous decisions in their life, like joining a gang, or becoming a criminal. Is not because of anything else. It's because of the serotonin release. Lack of serotonin release, feeling depressed most of the time, feeling lonely, feeling that the world is against us. That's actually because of our mood elevator, which is serotonin hormone being less in our body. Then unhealthy attention seeking behaviors are also a cry for what serotonin provides. And most of the antidepressants which are being prescribed, and most of the antidepressants which are available over the counter, focus on the production of serotonin, because they have to elevate your mood. Even if your mood is elevated, you come into more happy state, you feel more relaxed. And how do we do that? Reflecting on your past achievements can help your brain to relive the experience. Just reflect on your past achievements, and your brain has a trouble telling the difference between what is real and what is imagined. And in that case, it produces serotonin in both cases. Both sides. It's that way. So that's one way of handling serotonin, and trying to consistently seek to cause the release of serotonin in our system. Gratitude practices are popular for this reason. They are reminders and mental pictures of all good things you have experienced. If you need a serotonin boost during a stressful day, take a few moments to reflect on your past achievements and victories. Focus on your achievements, no matter how small they were. Try to seek happiness on those achievements. Just think about it. May it be anything: your past relationship, your past success, you scoring well in your exams, you excelling, you coming the first, you getting A grades, or maybe you winning in a sport, or maybe spending the best time, the best victories in your life, running with a trophy or a medal to your parents, and getting appreciated and getting gifted. So that is how you drive serotonin. You elevate your mood. Another way is to have lunch or coffee outside and expose yourself to the sun for 20 minutes, not inside an AC environment or a compact restaurant. Try to sit outside, go on a rooftop restaurant, or wherever it is, there is open air. Try to get a little sunlight. Don't burn yourself down. try to get a little sunlight into your system. So that is the best way of driving serotonin into the system, boosting serotonin. And because your skin absorbs UV rays, which promotes vitamin D, vitamin D, which is essential for serotonin production. Tryptophan plays a very big role, because I'll tell you one thing: serotonin cannot be derived directly out of food, out of the food we eat. There are many serotonin rich foods, but what is more important is the hormone reaching your brain, so that your brain gets the signal that yes, I'm now relaxed. Now I'm in the mood of doing something. Now I'm in the mood of self achievement, self release, self happiness. So there's something called as a blood brain barrier, which restricts and inhibits the absorption of hormones into the brain, because serotonin has a lot of amino acids also along with it. So there is a higher possibility that the amino acids reach the brain and not actually serotonin. So one of the major components is what it has to be. It reaches the brain through a chemical called as tryptophan, which we will discuss gradually as to how to imbibe tryptophan into our system. Now, although too much, as I said, sunlight is not good. Ultraviolet helps in in promoting vitamin D and serotonin production. So that's it. But too much of it is not good, because but a little exposure is definitely good for your serotonin boost. So as now I believe that it has been made clear in this video that both how dopamine and serotonin play a very vital role in our day-to-day lives. The other two hormones, that are oxytocin and endorphins, equally play an important role. And here we are discussing happy hormones. I mean, the hormones which are related, the secretion, the chemicals which are related, which are connected to your happiness. What makes you happy? What elevates your mood? And there are many more chemicals, there are many more hormones that are secreted, like cortisol, adrenaline, and glutamate, GABA. They have the different functions, but adrenaline and cortisol in excess, it refers to negative emotions, because definitely, though they have a very vital role, like cortisol has a very vital role in insulin, insulin absorption, insulin processing of insulin in the body, and especially glucose absorption by the cells, but too much of them can cause tremors, and as I said, it's more, they are actually secreted more when there is a fight and flight situation, which our body witnesses whenever it addresses threat. So this is, in this video, I believe as that if at all I could highlight the essential requirement of dopamine, which is basically for a motivator, and a serotonin, which is a mood elevator. I hope this video is helpful for you, and please do subscribe to my channel, where I'll be consistently encouraged to put in newer videos to address these stress related and other life threatening chronic diseases, their hacks and the techniques to handle them in their day-to-day lives, and how to tackle them naturally, definitely not beyond the point where medical intervention is required. Please do subscribe, and I shall see you there. Thank you.